Hello students, welcome to Economics Wala. Recently, Union Home Minister and Ministry of Cooperation has launched a National Urban Cooperative Finance and Development Corporation Limited, that is known as NUCFDC, has recently launched. In this context, let's understand about what is this NUCFDC and also urban cooperative banks. Recently, there were very sad news about urban cooperative banks, especially Punjab and Maharashtra Cooperative Bank and their bank running status. Since from last 2 years, not only urban cooperative banks, even payment banks also in news. Payment banks. So recent example would be Paytm Payment Bank. So in this context, what is this new proposed Union Home Minister's NUCFDC? Let's understand this by first understanding about urban cooperative banks. What is this urban cooperative banks? Urban cooperative banks. These are technically banks that were present in urban and semi-urban areas. These are technically present in both urban areas and as well as semi-urban areas. This is the definition. Though they are not formally defined whether their areas of operation would be strictly restricted to urban and semi-urban areas. Generally accepted definition for these urban cooperative banks would be they are mostly working in urban and semi-urban areas. These banks till 1996, these were allowed to lend their money, lend their capital. In banking terminology, we use capital to non-agriculture purposes. So non-agriculture purposes, they have given main importance till 1996. Later, this criteria has changed over a period of time, and the urban cooperative banks not only providing credit to non-agriculture, even agriculture activities and MSME sectors and priority sector lendings. So for all of these, they are providing now liquidity. And when it comes to regulation, who will regulate these urban cooperative banks? Generally, the States Cooperative Societies Act. For each and every state, there is a State Cooperative Societies Act. State Cooperative Societies Act. Societies Act, under which the urban cooperative banks were regulated primarily. Apart from that, the RBI also has direct role in regulating these urban cooperative banks, especially last 4 to 5 years, because of their mismanagement and funds allocation for various sectors, and they turned out to be an NPAs. Because of these reasons, RBI has entered into picture, and even RBI also tried to control these regulations. And in Banking Regulation Act, through Banking Regulation Act, we have Banking Regulation Act 1949. And also RBI Act. So technically, these urban cooperative banks are governed by State Cooperative Societies Act, and in the later stages, during last 4 to 5 years, they are directly comes under the control of RBI with the Banking Regulation Act and also RBI Act. As of now, in India, the current scenario for urban cooperative banks, if we look, there are 1,500 scheduled and non-scheduled commercial, non-scheduled urban cooperative banks. And they have a deposit size of, this I have taken from urban cooperative banks. They have deposits of 5.33 lakh crores. Deposits, these are deposits. And when it comes to lending, 3.3 lakh, 3 lakh crores. So this is the lending and this is the deposits. So obviously the deposits are much more higher than the lending. And what are the limitations when it comes to urban cooperative banks? What can we expect the limitations? The limitations majorly we can put it as limitations. Constraints to technology platforms. Constraints to technology platforms. Constraints to technology platforms. They are not in a position to fully utilize the technology. So whatever the products that are, especially that we can see in banking sectors, regular banking sectors, they are not in a position to utilize these technology products. And also because of this reason, they are unable to perform their basic banking operations also sometimes. Basic banking. So basic banking operations also. So what are these basic banking operations that we can assume is generally deposits and lending activities. Generally, these deposits and lending activities, once in the normal banking sector, they will take in an offline basis. Now, each and every bank and even NBFCs also, they have financially well equipped to deliver the services. So that technical know-how, generally these cooperative banks were not in a position to deliver the services because of there are some constraints related to these technology platforms also. And when it comes to NUCFDC, so the major reason what we discussed about this is NUCFDC. NUCFDC. It is an umbrella organization that will look after urban cooperative banks. And what is this main objective for this NUCFDC? It will modernize and strengthen urban cooperative sectors. It will modernize and strengthen urban cooperative banks by benefiting both bank customers and banks itself. So generally, they can leverage the technology and fintech, financial technology, so that they can benefit both bank customers and also banks. So that there is a seamless communication between bank customers and banks also. And what is the capital for this NUFTC? As of now, the capital has placed at 300 crores. It aims to raise capital of 300 crores and what is the working style for this NUFTC? How it will working? So it will work as it has already received certificate of registration. So this certificate of registration generally it will given by RBI. For what purposes they will give certificate of registration is for doing NBFC activities, non-banking financial activities, whatever the organization that have to go through NBFC that has to take certificate of registration from RBI so that their regular activities according to Companies Act 2013, these were classified into NBFCs, non-banking financial companies. These are also popularly now known as shadow banking units. So even UNCFDC has also received certificate of registration for from RBI for its operations as a NBFC, non-banking financial companies, and it also allowed to operate as a self-regulatory organization. So self-regulatory organization also this NUFCFDC has received its certification. And apart from these, what other services that we can expect from these urban cooperative banks? These, apart from offering liquidity, Generally, that we can expect liquidity and capital support. Capital support. Other than this, it will also provide a technology platform. Technology platform. So by using this technology platform, whatever the urban cooperative banks right now we have in India, they can use these technology platforms and they can deliver the products, their banking services to the customers. For that, this technology platform, whatever they have developed from urban cooperative banks, they are expecting relatively lower cost price. So for the technology platform, for using technology platform, the urban cooperative banks have to pay some cost. That cost will be borne by UCBs. And these UCBs, and anyway, they will pass on these prices to the customers by using their applications also. And also, whenever there is any fund need for urban cooperative banks, funds, it can act as fund manager also. So whenever there is a liquidity crisis, especially during overnight periods also, it will act as a fund manager, and also as and when required, based on requirement, it will act as a consultancy services for urban cooperative banks. So on this basis and expectation of this capital and working and what are the services, recently our Union Finance, Home Minister and Minister of Cooperation has recently launched this NUCFDC. So that's why it was in recently news, and this is everything about NUCFDC, how it will work, and what are different urban cooperative banks, and what are the challenges that are faced by urban cooperative banks, especially without proper knowledge on technology. So to fulfill this gap, one dedicated fund has been created for the requirements of technology upgradation and technology platforms uses. This NUCFDC was established. This is everything about the topic. Thank you for watching class. Have a nice day.